Welcome to Podnutz Daily for August 14th, 2008. Episode number 57. Okay. PCHell.com is a website I've been to today. Actually, my dad was there today. We were trying to get a fix for changing your desktop background when it won't let you. In other words, talked a little bit yesterday about how to get the desktop tab when it's missing to recover the desktop tab. Well, this computer had the desktop tab, but we couldn't choose a desktop background. It wouldn't let us choose it. All the pictures that were available were grayed out. We found a registry fix on PCHell.com for not being. I don't know the exact URL, but I'm sure if you search that site and do like maybe desktop. Actually, I think we typed fix. I think we Googled fix desktop tab. I think fix desktop tab, something like that. Anyway. PCHell.com. It seems like a decent site for that. Woman brought a laptop in. She had spilled milk in her laptop. An almost brand new Gateway, one of those red shiny ones. And she spilled milk in it and thought she was doomed. Now, here's what she did. I don't recommend doing this. She left the battery in. The first thing you want to do if you spill liquid into your laptop is kill the power, pull the battery out as fast, or turn it upside down, pull the battery out, and first pull the AC power out, pull the battery out as fast as you can. You don't want any power going to this thing while there's liquid in there. If you do that fast enough, don't turn anything back on. What I would recommend you do is if you don't want to take the laptop apart yourself, take it to somebody who's going to take the laptop apart and make sure all the parts are dry and not corroded. It might cost you $100, or if you can do it yourself, it'll be free. But if you turn your laptop on while there's still liquid in it, you're probably going to fry out the components, and that means you're going to buy a whole new laptop. So if you spill something in your laptop, get the battery out, unplug the power, turn it upside down, let the water drain out, and while the water or liquid's draining out, don't even think about powering it back on. Take it to somebody who will take it apart and make sure all the parts are okay, or do it yourself. Anyway, she spilled milk in her laptop. She kept the battery in. I think she didn't try it the whole night that happened, but then the next day in work, she had her laptop with her. She brought it to work, and in the car, it just went on automatically and started freaking out on her, just going crazy. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen if she had the battery out. So I thought she was pretty much doomed after she told me that. But what I did was I took the laptop in, took the battery out. That's the first thing I did. Then took the whole thing apart and checked every part of the circuit boards in there and the components. And if there was any corrosion or gook or anything buildup of liquid or anything, I used a toothbrush. I take a toothbrush, not a used one, like a new one just you use for work, and take it and wipe off the parts of the circuit boards that have like gook on them, and use contact cleaner you could use, or what I was using today was Purell, that hand sanitizer, because that stuff evaporates like really fast. So you could put a little bit of that on the end of the toothbrush, and scratch off any of the corrosion you find. Purell takes off almost anything. I've been using it around the office for just about anything. I'm really impressed by that stuff. It removes a lot of sticky stuff that's sticky. Anyway, did all that, put the whole thing back together. The keyboard was fried. The keyboard was all sticky. The keys were stuck down. You could press one down and it would stick down. I didn't even try the keyboard. Don't even try anything that you think may short out the system. It's possible maybe the keyboard could be repaired if I washed it out or did something like that, but then the problem with the keyboards is there's a sandwich of layers of circuit boards and contacts in there. And once they get messed up and liquid gets in there, forget about it. So I didn't even try the keyboard because everything else was working. I'm just going to order a new keyboard. Keyboard, I consider that beyond repair. So we're going to put a new keyboard in there, and she has a fixed laptop up. She doesn't have to buy a new one. And that was probably an $800 laptop she brought in. So, she could spend $150. I charge $79 for the job and $79 for the keyboard, or she could buy a brand new one. So it is worth it if you have patience. Try to follow that advice if you spill anything in your laptop, and you'd be a lot better off. Okay, got a problem with Windows Vista here. Computer came in on a laptop. Windows Vista was installed, and it was installing updates. When you try to power off the computer, it tries to install updates, and it just installs and installs and installs and never stops. So that was the problem that this customer was having. Let me just read what the notes I wrote here. Vista installing updates screen. Okay, so it wouldn't shut down. It would just have the installing updates screen. Now, I don't know the exact fix for this, and first thing we tried was to install Service Pack 1. They didn't have Service Pack 1 installed, so we downloaded and installed Service Pack 1. I don't know the result of that yet. I'm going to find out tomorrow and let you know. I got a bunch of emails, guys, I want to read. Jeff writes, you mentioned on one of your daily podcasts, that a seller you always buy LCD screens from on eBay. You mentioned a seller that you always buy LCD screens from on eBay. Could you let me know who that is again? I'm in the process of quoting a Toshiba laptop screen for a customer and could use this info. Okay, thanks, Jeff. The seller's name that I use on eBay is DVD Super 999. That's his username, but I think he goes by, is a store name or whatever, is DVD Super 1, and that's O-N-E spelled out at the end. But it's DVD Super 999 is the guy. I've been buying, I don't know if he's the best, you know. I've never had a problem with him, and I like buying from the same person because they get to know you, and then they can offer, you know, faster shipping and stuff like that if you're a good customer. Never had a problem with his screens. I've had ordered from other people, and I've had a problem with dead pixels and scratches in the screen. I always get a perfect screen from this seller, so I've been using them. You're going to know it's him if you're looking through, if you do a search for screens. It's the one that always has the white flower. I don't know what kind of flower it is. I'm not a flower guy, but it's a white flower and a blue background. That's his picture he uses for his auctions. And I'm buying a screen off him probably tomorrow, in fact. Next email. Hey, Steve, I just started advertising with Google AdWords. Since I just started, I set the budget for $50 per month. You have talked about AdWords, so can you give me any tips? I'm a bit confused about the budget process. How do I know what is a good amount to set? Maybe you could talk about this on a future episode of Podnutz Daily. Okay, and this is pseudo-random from the chat room. His Twitter name is BiosBooter. Okay, Steve. With Google AdWords, that's, if you guys don't know, that's what I use mainly for my advertising. Besides the sign on the front of my shop, I just use Google AdWords. And here's what I do for Google AdWords, okay? You set a monthly budget. Like, say you set a $50 budget per month. That means Google will gauge how many times your ad gets shown so that at the end of a month, you're going to spend around $50 or less. Now, because I want my ads, you got to be careful about this. Listen to everything I'm saying. Don't leave out any parts if you try this. What I like to do for my ads is set my monthly budget to $1,000. I don't spend, I plan